Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are the Hooligans, and today, from a business standpoint, we will be discussing why Bruno Mars will have longevity into the future.
Hi, my name is Neri. I will be introducing Bruno Mars' background and his culture. He was born in October 8, 1985. His birthplace is Hawaii. His ethnicity is Jewish, Puerto Rican, Filipino, and Spanish. And what interesting about his name is his birth name is Peter Henderson. His name Bruno is a name that he adopted when he was young by his father's favorite wrestler Bruno Sammartino. Mars is the name that he developed later when he moved to LA to pursue his dream as an artist. He thought if he does not want to be stereotyped as a Spanish or Latin musician, his name should sound as he comes from a different planet. He grew up around entertainer. His family performed a Las Vegas style performance, and that include Motown hit, duo, melody, and celebrity impersonation. He joins his family when at the age of 4. His value is innovation, diverse. He is classified under pop, R&B, rock and roll, and his attitude is sharp to achieve the best and to stand out of the crowd. For instance, in an interview, he used to say, "I don't ever want to come out with something safe and get away with it sound good. It's gotta be more than sounding good."
Hi, my name is Anthony, and I will be discussing some influences that has made Bruno Mars the pop sensation he currently is today. As a child, Bruno Mars would impersonate illustrious artists such as Elvis Presley and Michael Jackson. As you can see in the top right corner, Bruno Mars would style his haircut similar to Elvis Presley's. He was also influenced by artists such as Prince and Little Richard. Bruno Mars was also heavily influenced by the 1950s pre-rock and disco era. Accordingly, Bruno Mars is revered for having a 1950s retro-style ambience to his performances. For instance, Bruno Mars once said in an interview, "I watch the best because I'm a big fan of 1950s Elvis." When he would go on stage and scare people because he was a force and the girls would go nuts. And behind me, it's visually evident that Bruno Mars is a 1950s retro-style performer with a style.
Hi, my name is Riven Zhang. I'm going to talk about motivation. So what exactly is motivation? Motivation is the reason why you are doing something. Like if you have a very strong desire to achieve a goal, and that is a time when you have a strong motivation. I'm going to start with meaningful work. And we can say Bruno's passion for music shaped a meaningful career for himself. Ever since he was a kid, he had been addicted to music, and then he realized that music is all he wanted to do. As he said, the joy and fun he has on stage is the reason why he writes and sings songs. He felt energized and passionate because the meaningful work drawing on all of his talents. And here, Bruno's motivation is the happiness and advancement he gets from being an artist. As long as he can move to a higher level in the area of music, he is motivated. So let's move on to the goal setting theory. Bruno Mars always had the biggest goals to be an artist from the very beginning. And even during the hard time, he never loses hope. He is clear about his motivation and what makes him work hard. So he set up many short-term goals for himself. For example, he teamed up with 2 talented songwriters, and so as to be recognized by the public. And that is only the beginning. Bruno kept setting and achieving all of his goals, and eventually his goals motivate him to be a successful solo artist, and that's the magic of motivation.
My name is David Mills. I'll be introducing Bruno Mars' strategy to his longevity in his music career. Bruno Mars has a vision of being one of the best artists that there ever was and have his music immortalized so it lasts for a very long time, even after he's done writing it and singing it. A strategy of his to achieve this longevity is to always put on a good show for his audience. Like he'll play like different instruments throughout like his performance. Like he'll go from drums to guitar to singing all at the same time, just to like put on a good show. And another way he's going to achieve it is he creates music that everyone can enjoy and relate to. He creates like feel-good music and like love songs that people just like listen to, like just like get in a good mood or something like that. And Rolling Stone magazine actually said of his performances that anyone from any age can go to one of his shows and feel like he put on the performance just for them. And during the 2014 Super Bowl, Bruno Mars is actually the halftime performance. He did the halftime completely unpaid, like he didn't receive a single penny for it, but the reason he did it was for the exposure. Well, over 100 million people were watching the Super Bowl, so it gave people the opportunity to see his music and see like what kind of music he puts out there, and if they like it or not, they can go like buy a couple songs of his. And there's actually a study done, and in the year 2013, he was the most played artist on pop radio.
I'm Ryan Kelly, and I'll be talking about the organizational structure of Bruno Mars. In the world of music today, our artists bring in large amounts of revenue. It is extremely important that they surround themselves with a sound team that they can trust in order to maintain money and achieve longevity. For instance, Bruno Mars, he brought in his lifelong best friend to be his assistant, someone that he can trust. Some steps to creating an organization out of a recording artist are that of doing the research of the basic duties that come with your management team, being sure you know what each person is supposed to be doing and that they're doing it. Determine your budget, how much you are able to pay your team. This is extremely important because you want to get top professionals that are advanced in their field of work. You need to find team members that you can trust, a group of experts that are professionals in their field, and create your team and develop relationships from top to bottom. You need to get to know every person individually, and then also you need to cement your team, use contracts with employees, and make sure your music is run like a business. Bruno Mars is not only a recording artist, he is a brand, and he can be defined as a for-profit organization since he makes money for himself. By him having a trustworthy organization around him with a level of hierarchy, it creates a good organizational structure. Every successful musical artist has a team around them. Without their talents wouldn't be enough to build them to the stars that they are today.
My name is Vera Adams, and today I'll be discussing how Bruno Mars shows characteristics of a leader. A leader is a person who influences and inspires, and Bruno Mars has not failed at being a leader by constantly reminding women of their worth. In 2010, he recorded a song, Just the Way You Are, in which he said, "When I see your face, there's not a thing that I would change, because you're amazing just the way you are." As you can see, Bruno Mars strives to dignify women in the music industry. Just the Way You Are is not the only song in which he does this. He also does this in his song Grenade and If I Was Your Man. Bruno Mars also displays characteristics of a transformational leader. Through intellectual stimulation, he challenged his team to both songwrite and produce music. Through inspirational motivation, he inspired his team to be the best. Through individualized consideration, Bruno Mars has lent his voice to the Candy Foundation. The Candy Foundation is one of the many youth-related charities in which they seek to educate teens about parenthood and teen pregnancy. Bruno Mars has participated actively since the year 2011. In conclusion, Bruno Mars will continue to have longevity because he's a very diverse artist who appeals to many different demographics. His music is relatable and timeless. It's usually about love and the struggle. He has a strong organizational structure, which is key to a great artist. He's multi-talented. He's able to sing, dance, songwrite, and play multiple instruments at the same time. And most importantly, he displays a positive image and attitude.
Thank you.